private deals, dark illness, and black milk. This is Gluttony and Earth. Hello and welcome to the IDL. My name's Nick, and this is Gluttony and Earth, folks. And with me, as always, is the inevitable. It's Kyle.
I am inevitable?
Yes. And also with me, the evitable. It's Adam.
I don't know is that a word?
Yes, I had to look it up. It means easily avoidable.
Oh.
I see you like once a week. I mean, to be fair.
Not untrue.
Yeah. And the table, it's BakaZombie.
Hey, have you ever have you ever been chalant?
Oh. Maybe.
Because sometimes you're nonchalant, but have you ever been chalant?
Yeah. Have you ever been whelmed? I'm often whelmed. Not really. I'm hard to please.
Shenaned? You better not be shenaned again.
Oh, I just remembered what I wanted to send you.
No, send it right now.
I
start
right now.
This conversation. All right. So the conversation is Baka. Do you know? No. I'm curious. What's the worst accident you've ever gotten into? Like, what do you think is like the worst scenario? So for me, I'm lucky. I am unbelievably lucky in the fact that I have never been injured. No, the closest I've been to injured was as a kid, and I mean like from a range of like 1 to 6. I fell down so many stairs. I fell down so many stairs. My grandparents had a 13-stair step that led to the basement, a concrete basement floor, and I have hit those concrete so much. Luckily, however, a house I lived in for a few years, I lived in the attic, and the stairs went down, hit a landing, and then turned and went down. So when falling down those, it was not so bad. I had a midway stop. I think that's like the closest, because like I don't think I've in St. Louis at the City Museum. There's like a spot where you run, like there's like almost like a kind of a concrete skate park type area in there. But like a lot of us were it was like after hours, so a lot of us were just like running up and around, and I biffed the landing, and my fingers hurt ever since. But I don't know if it's broken. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Other than that, like I've never broke a bone or something.
Adam, do you remember the stairs in my childhood home?
Yes, I do.
They were so steep.
Absolutely
It was
do.
insanely steep because it was technically an attic. But like the stairs were just so steep, and me and my sister fell down those all the time when we were younger.
This is slightly off topic. Did you ever go
Upstairs?
No.
I lived upstairs.
I don't know. I don't want to start giving out people's names on pods.
Call them John and Stacy. John with a J and Stacy with an X.
The only other one of our friends that lived in town. Did you ever go to her upstairs?
Stacy with an X?
No, I didn't.
Oh, she had similar steps to that. Similar steps to yours. I only went up there a couple times when we were hanging out, and very even those stairs were narrow too, like yours. And it was just
yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, I think of my childhood home every once in a while. I'm like, God, I haven't thought about that place, and then it's like so weird to think about.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And
No, and then you. Kyle, how many bones have you broken?
None until last year.
Oh, so some.
One. Like, I went roller skating, and I was using the little trainee thing at first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what?
I don't know what that is.
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Let's take off the training wheels and let's skate without it. And I was like, okay, let's pick up some speed. No. I tried to compensate it by like pushing my weight forward, but then I was like, oh, I'm falling. I pushed my weight back, got some airtime, and landed on my elbow. At the time, it hurt really bad, but I could still move it. So I was like, oh, no, we don't need to go to the ER. Yeah. We went to
American
Denny's.
health system.
Me and my friends went to Denny's. And I was like, hey, can you cut this for me? I can't move my elbow.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And then I was still stubborn. I was like, you know what? I can sleep this. I just need to ice it. I'll sleep it off.
Just temporary pain.
Yeah, no. I went to the hospital, and it was a very tiny fracture on my elbow. And after like a week, I was off the cast. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's it.
Do they like dig into your arm? Like I obviously they must just dig into your arm to fix the bone. But like I literally was thinking about this yesterday, where I was like, your bones aren't meant to like, they're just like evolved to like float in the middle of your body. So like
they don't float. They're held there.
Yeah, they're held in place.
Yeah, it's not like soup.
But I was like that, like because I've never like broken anything that I'm aware of. I was, without doing surgery, I'm like, it like finally occurred to me, like they have to like rip open your arm to get to that bone.
A lot of times, unless they're like putting something in there like a rod, they just like re-break it into place. They don't usually cut it open.
They just I mean, they do, but they do just like, that's why you're normally sedated for it. And in all of the movies, it hurts so much because they are just like realigning the bones. Yeah,
and they just auto heal. They got regen,
and that's why you then have a cast so that it
doesn't move again.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through TikTok. I don't know why this was on my For You page. I saw like the text was like, "This is how they fix your." What's the thigh? What's the bone of the thigh called?
Is that the fibula?
Femur? Is that the bad one?
Femur.
The
femur is where your shin is.
I don't know,
right?
man.
No, femur is the long bone. Femur is your thigh bone. Tibia is your shin, and then the fibula is the one behind.
This is
whatever bone it is.
Before you say this is so dumb. I googled femur. The first image that popped up was actually about the upper leg bone, but it was a fucking Quizlet thing. And so they blurred out all the fucking names of the bones.
But
it is a femur though.
Yes.
It's a femur, okay. So they were this is how you like fix a femur, whatever the fuck the surgery was called. But they were on the operating table and the surgeon is just like going with it looked like a chisel and a hammer and just like banging on that thing. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's be the worst bone to break.
Oh yeah, because it's such a weight-bearing bone in your leg, like it's so thick. Also, unlocked memory of younger Adam.
He fell down some stairs?
No, the only bone I broke was my collarbone. That's fine. That was minor. I was in kindergarten. Didn't even affect me. Or like it has no impact on my
Popped your
life.
collar.
But because I wanted to be a vet, so I was shadowing a local vet in like later high school. And she said, like, the reason why most orthopedic surgeons are men is because you need so much more strength to do a lot of the surgeries because you're like moving the bones and like what you actually need to do to like get to do the surgery takes a lot more strength to do it. Not that women can't, but she was like, that's why you see more men doing it because it takes a lot more strength to get through the surgery and do what you need to do with it.
That's why Dr. Bone Quaker was a man.
No idea who that is.
And that's the name I made up.
Okay.
I've never broken a bone.
Quakes bones.
I remember as a kid, me and my friend wanted to, so we could get a cast.
Oh, no, that's a perfectly good reason.
I mean, it is.
Because you get attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I never did because I was.
Oh, I should.
was and still am afraid of pain.
Oh, absolutely. That's my problem. Why do you think
I quit football because I hated getting hit and tackled. But yeah, but my worst accident would have been when a glass shattered in my hand. when I was a bouncer at a nightclub, we had to clean up afterwards, and we had a stage for the band, and they were like slowly tearing down like they always do, take forever. So I'm clearing the glasses off the stage, and one of the like pieces of the stage is for the drum set was standing straight up and down on top of the stage. So when I was walking on it, my weight made it start to fall over. And my hands were full of glasses, so I went to stop it from falling with my hand, and the glass shattered in my hand, and just absolutely ripping it apart. And I'm like, oh, I'm bleeding everywhere. So I go to the kitchen, a couple of the other bouncers come with me, and we just like put a bunch of paper towel over it and then wrap it in duct tape, and then I continue working for the night. And then I go home and like take it off to actually like clean it better, and it's still just pouring blood out of it.
Yeah.
And my sister, who's been asleep because this is like 3 a.m. by the time I get home, comes in the bathroom and I'm just blood all over the sink, and she's like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, it's fine. And I just wrap it up with bandage and gauze, go to bed, wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, it's still bleeding. So I went to the ER. Not the ER. I went to emergency care, the other one, the cheaper one.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, you needed to come to me like right when this happened because I can't do anything about it now. Like you needed stitches. Thankfully, you didn't hit any major nerves or muscles or anything, so you can still use your hand." And then he wrapped it up with like doctor stuff, so I couldn't move it, so it could actually heal. And he's like, "You need to be on workers' comp or like leave from work for like 2 or 3 weeks." I'm like, I'm going to work tonight. So I continued working. I just made work pay for my doctor visit.
I'm not a doctor or have any medical science. What the fuck do you mean you can't give me stitches if it's been too long? It could not have healed that much. It was within a day.
I don't know. Maybe you didn't want to do it.
I
think it had to be within like 4 hours of the accident or whatever.
I have been on the opposite end of that. When I was a child,
you cut somebody's hand open?
I don't know why I thought this, but I thought this was funny. My brother was outside on the other side of the window, and I thought it was funny, and I kicked on the window, and it shattered into his hand. So he had glass embedded into his hand because I broke the glass by kicking it at him. It's things you think when you're a kid. you know.
I threw a bocce ball through a window once.
When you're a kid and you smash your parents' bedroom window into your brother's hand.
My mom, 2 of her fingers are shorter because they've been cut off. One from getting caught in a door because her and her siblings were fighting and they closed the door on her and it got her finger and cut off the top of it. Another time when she was my mom, she cut her tip her finger off with a knife.
Oh, I couldn't. That freaks me out so much. I've had relatives who've on machinery got their fingertips chopped off. That freaks me out so much. I don't trust.
Cringed all the listeners.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I got through that. I usually don't like that stuff. Like stuff with oh my god, when I did history of the Middle Eastern history.
Yeah,
it wasn't Middle Eastern because it was like China history and stuff. But we did the part of the history where they were talking about the binding of feet
binders,
feet binding, and they had diagrams. I'm like, I can't fucking read this. I hate this shit so much.
I've seen foot binding diagrams for since high school because there used to be a meme 15 years ago about modern foot binding being high heels or something like that. And so it was like a diagram of foot bindings throughout history. It's
Like
I'm squeamish.
I'm like, some people absolutely hate feet. I don't care. Like, don't freak me out, but mutilated feet freak me out.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously the mutilation part of it, but
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
Weird.
Well, you know what else is afoot? The recap.
No, it's not.
Adam did not like that transition.
Nope. Yeah.
Well, what he does like is that the crew got ambushed by a mound of wilting vegetation and whomped it. Absolutely wrecked those veggies. Vegan, no thank you. To celebrate, they finally arrived to Mother's village. There, they met a woman who was hospitable to them, but revealed that Darius has been sick, and that Mother was taking care of them at her own place. They went out to go find Mother, but instead reached the storehouse, which is the village's only seemingly non-residential building. And not only in that storehouse did they find Debra, they found out that Debra and Darius has been in Dark World for 10 years. A whole decade. They then met with Mother, who had told them that Darius has been sick and blind after an attempt to go get a tablet for her, which this tablet would help them, or help her, send them back to Fracterra. Debra, in her feelings about reuniting with Endien and Thellum after 10 years, decided she needed some time alone because she was feeling very angry and hurt and emotional and like confused. And Mother said, hey, if you need a place to sleep, since Debra can't help you because she runs the storehouse, go hit up Jonah. They are about to leave to hit up Jonah. Mother asks, hey, Endien, about those strings, do you want them cut? Endien's like, I need to think about this, especially since you want my king's sword for it. They're about to head out, and there's like, actually, Thellum, can I talk in private? And Thellum agrees. This recap was a third of the size of last recap. But the last recap was to celebrate that we had a 1-year anniversary. Thellum, you were alone? Okay. All right, Mr. Finger Up. What do you want?
Once we go outside, you said the windows are open on this cottage?
Yes.
Great. I cast Pass Without a Trace on myself, and I bonus action wild shape into a spider, and I crawl up the side of the wall, through the window, up on the ceiling.
As you start crawling in, Mother slowly looks over to you and watches you crawl up onto the ceiling. I'm sorry, I'm just... Your friend did not see it interesting that we had a conversation in private. I'm sorry that this is something I wanted to talk to Thellum alone. Would you mind leaving?
Spider Nathaniel waits.
I suppose another time, Thellum.
Wait, what? What friend?
Oh.
Thellum's looking around.
One of your friends thought fit to sneak into my cottage.
He tries sniffing out Endien.
You smell a nasty odor coming from above you.
Endien, are you up there? Oh, but okay. I guess we'll chat another time.
Mm-hmm.
Thellum will exit.
I would leave when Thellum leaves as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. You can head off. You reach the first house. Jonah is. I guess I said teenager, but I suppose he's more like around like 20.
Mother mentioned that we would essentially just be staying at the back of the storehouse, though, correct?
Yes.
Did Debra lock up behind her when she left?
No.
When I Nathaniel would turn back in, I wouldn't go looking for Jonah if we're just staying at the storehouse.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess the idea was Jonah was going to help set up like some lodging in the back, like beds and stuff like that for you guys.
As either in or out of character, however it works out.
Yeah.
Nathaniel would immediately start just heading towards like into the shop / to the back of it, because they're not. It's just setting up beds. Like they're not. They don't need someone else to help with that.
Okay. Yeah. I guess then if that's the case, then you find yourselves in the storehouse. You find some place to set up. So the plan is to go out. Well, I guess you guys said you guys wanted to talk about this also. Don't let me interrupt.
Yeah. As long as I know we're alone.
Yes, you are. You are. It is the four of you.
First, because it's weird jumping between different people's worlds, not just in this game, but between games of different game worlds.
Yeah, different.
In this world, are Hags more Fae, so more Prisma based?
Give me an Arcana check.
Endien's a big dumb idiot. Oh well, she's rolling good though. That's the 19.
Ooh. 19. You know that hags are creatures of Prisma.
Does some give me vibes of hag vibes? No. Not because she's like making deals. Not what am I looking for? She's not making. What's the things they do?
Deals?
Is deals the word for that? Yeah, because I didn't want to like specifically say deals because she was making like the deal, the debt. She's doing debts. That's right. So yeah, I did want to say deal. So hags usually deal with deals, but she was talking about debts. Is there any kind of correlation between them, and does she like resemble hags that I'm aware of? I
think that. Would you get a 19?
Yeah.
So I'll give you two pieces of information on this. One, hags specifically are creatures of Prisma, possibly of like the blue. You think that might be something you've heard, but you also know that creatures of both Prisma and Dark World. It seems like tit for tat is a very common social construct. Like that seems to be common in all of the Second World, where like everything is indebted, or you do this for me, I can do this for you type of deals. So it's not that she reminds you of a hag in the way that maybe it gives off the vibe because she is matriarchal, and she is clearly a source of power in some way, but it does not remind, like her version of debt does not even remind you. It doesn't even remind Thellum of the way that Pazuzu deals with debt. So I think hers is more non-binding in that sense, more trust-based. Is what
it's not binding. It's not as.
It's not like
rabbit footy.
It's not as hard verbal contract.
So,
what you're getting from it, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't know necessarily the source of why or how she can do anything. She seems to be a mystery. As far as, I mean, obviously, like the people of this village seem to be the same species as the pets in the Volcula state, right? They're not human, but they are something humanoid similar. So she's clearly not one of those. So she has some form of power, obviously, that she rules an entire village of these people. It's really hard to gain a real understanding of what her powers come from without being the victim of it, maybe.
Yeah. So we wanted to come to our decision outside of both Mother and Debra's ears, because I feel with the amount of time she's been here, Debra's kind of fallen to Mother's charisma. What do we think? Do we want to get whatever this tablet is for this person? Because it could just be terrible for everybody involved. But I don't see another way of getting out of here. And can we even help Darius in the state he's in?
This is the only lead we got.
I apologize, Thellum, but I also don't trust her. That is why I did not want to leave you alone with her.
Oh, it was you up there.
Yes. Yeah, I was a little spider. I can do little spiders too, not just big ones.
No, I don't trust her either. It's just I just want to see what she would say.
But there's to both of your. If we tomorrow, I can do a more thorough examination of Darius. There's certain things that I can prepare and adjust and do to get perhaps a better idea of what is afflicting him. She obviously has some power and ability if she's kept him alive for 10 years in that state. But that also makes me question who she is if she can keep him alive in that state for 10 years and not cure him.
And also, is it that she's keeping him alive, or is it more of keeping him in a stasis for her own gains? Maybe he just wasn't willing to give her the tablet, and maybe she thinks she can get Debra to do it for her.
Her and Debra. I didn't ask in the moment. Did Darius have the dark splotches on him?
Yes. But she did not.
Yeah. Mother and Debra are the only two not afflicted with whatever the others have. That seems significant.
And knowing Darius's demeanor, how we are currently unwilling to give her what she wants, I could see Darius being along that same line of thought. And maybe she thinks she can get Debra to do what she wants by keeping Darius in the state he's in.
Wait, I have a question. We're also in color, right?
No. You're all in.
No.
You see each other in black and white because of dark vision. Because dark vision only lets you see black and white.
And you can't see me at all.
You can't see Endien at all.
I can smell it.
You smell like me, dummy. Everything smells like shit. It's just the air.
Nathaniel also takes out of their bag the larger wooden carving that they had started at Volkiel Manor, which now has taken shape. It's several figures, all elven looking, holding hands. So they're all in a line holding hands, being held together at the base. And as they lay it out, they say, I've also been... I don't know if it would work. I don't know exactly how, but... I've been thinking of a way to get us back to Fracterra. Because the way we got here was a druidic ritual from the Pen of Light. We plugged our ears with specific tree sap so that we wouldn't hear things. We had a carving of our greatest fear. We followed a approximation of the moon, which I think more is an approximation of compass. And we needed permission from an entity of Dark World. My thought is we do the opposite of that and somehow reverse our travel here. So this, pointing to the carving, carvings of our greatest hope. We follow an approximation of the sun, instead of plugging our ears to what we see around us, we limit our vision so that we can only see the light of the sun, and then either permission from an entity of Fracterra or the rejection of an entity of Dark World.
How would we get an approximation of the sun here?
I can do that as well. While it wouldn't give off light, there are flaming sphere, a sphere of flames that we could follow, similar to what we did with the moonstone. I don't know if any of that will work, but it is something to try before getting an item of power to Mother. The only thing I'm not sure about is we passed through a tunnel of specific stone and ore. I don't have anything to replicate that or know how we could, what its potential opposite would be, or if we could find more of that here to have a similar passage.
I wouldn't even know where to begin to look for that either, or who to ask. We're days travel away from the only person that was helpful to us without wanting something in return.
Yes. But that is a larger, again, I don't even know if that would work. There are several things I can try tomorrow to see if I can understand better what is happening to Darius.
If that doesn't work, what's our plan B?
Hope for the best.
Fortunately, I don't know how far hope will get us here.
Permission to speak freely.
Oh,
Permission granted.
forgot you were here.
Princess, what'll happen to you if you continue to give in to this dark world?
I don't know.
I'm worried. Allowing yourself to be consumed by what in all essence has been a terrible place. Just, it brings worry, Princess.
I appreciate your concern, Hildatha, but concern needs to be placed with Darius for now. I am not the priority here. I can deal with my stuff after we've secured his health and our way back.
Understood.
I don't think I would have gotten this far without whatever this is that is I'm being binded to.
But at what point is giving up yourself worth what you gave it up for?
I don't know if I can answer that now.
Understood. At some point later, Debra will eventually find her way back to the storehouse. She doesn't really bother with you guys because she has been absent from the storehouse and needs to man it because people have been wondering why the storehouse hasn't been open. So she's swamped with just. If any of you see what her operations are at some point, it's mostly people will offer excess stuff to the storehouse that she then stores as excess for the entire village, where people can then pick up what they need. So it's like tit for tat in that sense, where they will, if they have extra something, they will give it out, and then people will come and get what they need from that storehouse. And so not a lot of things aren't high volume, but it's something there that people can offer and do. So a lot of it's very communal living for them. So that's just kind of what she's busy with that for a while. Eventually she'll have finished that and come back be like, I'll go figure out some bedding for you guys. After realizing, because you guys have been there, but like, there's not a lot of resources there. So like, you guys making bedding yourself isn't very feasible. So she'll spend time doing that.
I mean, Thellum's really the only one that needs crew bedding.
Yes.
Oh, that's fair.
And I'm a hobo.
Oh yeah. She doesn't know that. So she does what she can to give you guys comfort.
Something nice to sit on is all
Yeah.
most of us need.
Mother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know what afflicts those in the village here? They have those dark splotches.
It's just common amongst everyone here.
Except
I've
you?
been told it's some of us are just immune. It's not common, but immunity to this affliction it happens. Usually we take it as a sign, something special or good about people, and if they're immune, the villagers, we send them off to have a better life than from being here. But
You've met others who are immune to it?
yeah, usually by the time you're 1, it's pretty clear. So if by the time you reach 1 and you're showing no sign of affliction, it usually means you're immune. Obviously, I didn't go anywhere because Darius is here, and we're trying to leave Dark World. But like, yeah, apparently I'm also immune. So I mean, I don't know about you all. It might set in at some point. It's just so dumb, and he's so goddamn stubborn. I get so mad. I get so mad at him. He lays there. He's so goddamn stubborn. And then she starts breaking down and crying about it all. She gets into tears.
What is
He's
he being...
so fucking paranoid.
About what?
He doesn't trust. He doesn't trust anyone. He doesn't trust anything. He thinks everything is a potential life or death situation. He doesn't care at all about the kindness of these people here.
What things did he say to you about his paranoia? Like, what was he paranoid about?
Mother has the ability to help these people from this affliction. And you know him, right? Like, anything he eats, anything offered to him, immediately feels the need to purify it. Because he doesn't trust the things that he gets from people. The food here, when we started, he would purify. It makes sense. Like, we're not evolved to take in moldy bread, stale bread, things that are gone bad. But like, the beverage that we have protects people. It keeps them alive. But he refuses to drink. He refused to drink it because he didn't trust it. Even after his purification, he doesn't do anything. He could have stayed up. He could have helped himself more. It was offered, but he refused to do it because he doesn't trust people. I'm so angry.
I understand. No, we're gonna find a way to help him. We're gonna figure out something.
There's a drink that helps people.
Yes, it's this. We call it black milk. Here, it's mother's black milk.
Yuck!
No,
don't say that ever again.
That's
both in
terrible.
character and out of
Black milk
character.
was
Yuck,
bad enough.
Yuck!
It helps people survive here.
Can we just call it black juice, even if you want to add the mother's part? As long as it's juice, it's fine.
All of it's bad. All of it's bad. I know this is a serious moment, but it's all bad.
I know you don't like it. There's a nursery rhyme.
I don't care. I don't care. There's nursery rhyme.
They sing it because they know. They know the black milk helps people ward off because she has healing and protective abilities to a point. They all drink it here. And that's how they're able to survive.
The black milk comes from Mother?
She supplies it. It's not
Yuck.
it's not actually milk. It's not you're clearly obviously all of you are thinking it's for breast milk. It's not.
I wasn't thinking that at all.
I was.
I mean, like,
that's not what it is.
Why do you call
it's
it milk if it's on her milk?
It's creamy.
yeah,
And there's a nursery rhyme. I wasn't born here. This is just something they've always called it. They have a nursery rhyme. What do you think what do you think people hum around here?
That's your excuse for why it's called that. Why did the DM call it?
yeah. Why did Bumble call it that?
To make you
could have picked
uncomfortable.
anything for it.
To make you uncomfortable, obviously. They have the nursery rhyme.
What is it? What is get it over?
I'm not gonna sing it, but it's Mother's black milk makes your bones strong to build up the castles to keep out what's wrong. Mother's black milk makes an excellent cream to shut out the violence and silence the screams. It's there to help everyone survive this place.
You've been drinking it also?
Yes. I'm immune to whatever's afflicting, but they don't have water here. This is what they have to drink.
Is there water they can boil in the swamp?
No, it's not. It doesn't work for them that way.
It never rains here?
It
There's
doesn't.
a swamp. You can just boil the water.
I get there's a lot you don't understand about this place. They cannot just boil the water there.
I'm gonna have a little science experiment later.
I did mention to you earlier, I feel like it was 2 episodes ago, and if I'm wrong, then Spaminto or Will can call me out on this. I feel like I told you guys after a bit of walking, like you feel like it tingles a bit towards you.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
It's
like
carbonated.
yes, it's sparkling water. You can't boil sparkling water; it's already gas. No, so like it doesn't work that way here.
Mm.
I've been, like I said, obviously I was 5, and like to a degree when that happened, my mind wasn't what it was. But like I remember, I'm effectively in my 30s or something, I think, at this point. And like I'm not a fool because I was a kid again. But my body has not been the same because it is hard to train myself to be a warrior in this village compared to the elite training grounds I had in the chain. But I am still trying my hardest to build up enough strength to go out there and get that tablet and retrieve it so we could go home. I know you. There's no way to know how Darius will survive the trip. But it's better than this.
I agree. We just want to explore our options as quick as we can before we make any rash decisions. Obviously, we don't want to stay here very long. Considering you've been here for 10 years when it was only 4 weeks for us, we want to be out of here as quick as we can, but we don't want to make a decision that easily could have been avoidable.
Listen, I get it. Like I said, I wasn't born yesterday. I get it. This whole world is awful. I'm sure you've met worse than I have. Almost everyone I've interacted with has been pleasant. Surprisingly pleasant since I've been here. The first person we met offered to guide us to near a civilization. And everyone here has only been kind and helpful and receptive to me and Darius. I get your distrust. I get it's off-putting to meet someone who has power here but sounds nice. But to me, getting that tablet is the way out.
That wasn't what I was alluding to, but yes, that is a concern. It's less of a concern than Darius's health. What I meant was, if there's a way we can make sure that we are able to keep him stabilized during the travel, we want to explore those options quickly before we go. I don't completely trust this mother person, but if that's the way we have to go to get home, then I'm not against it. As long as she keeps up her end of the deal and we're out of here, don't honestly see why we shouldn't get it for her. We have a possibility of another way home, but I don't know how sound of a way it is. No offense, Nathaniel.
None.
It is grasping at straws, but it's worth exploring again quickly. Though where we came from seems to have been less time passed, I don't want to chance it in case something was weird going back to Fracterra, that their time went faster than ours. But I think we do have to get this tablet.
The dangers you're going to face out there. There are the Sheerton, which I haven't seen in a decade, but they were terrifying. They're a creature that lives here that are like a massive, bulky humanoid with a ram's head. There are almost all vegetation out there is going to try and eat you. The water itself, they call it the belly swamps because it's like the swamps are almost digestive. And I don't know if she told you after I left or what, but that tablet is in an area of the swamp that a civilization used to live, and she dropped it there. And what lives there now is Proteus.
What is Proteus?
Proteus is this ancient Hydra.
Love Hydra.
That lives out there. It's in its hunting ground and nest. There's that. Darius, from what he was able to tell me before his state devolved. Swarms of wasps attacked him, blinded him, and he struggled to find his way back, blinded. And that's when sickness took hold, and he got back sick and blind. And he was getting too weak to do much, other than we let him rest. Like I said, I've been taking care of the storehouse to basically work off my debt of her keeping me and Darius well housed and fed, and the people here they're good people. This village isn't a bad village. But I still need to just... I keep believing that someday I'm going to have the strength to go out there. I'm just worried of my own incompetence.
You are not incompetent, Debra. You wouldn't have gotten this far if you were. You have the unfortunate status of being in a prepubescent body that you aren't able to push to the limits of what your adult brain can do. Nathaniel, I have a question. Can you create food and water?
Yes.
Okay, thank God.
Not today, but
Please stock it. I do not want to drink mother's milk.
yeah. I only have so many spells I can prepare, and there's a lot of shit now that I would like to prepare.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know what you two plan to do. If you want to, or you three, I guess, if you want to explore your theory, Nathaniel, of a pathway back. But I'm gonna go look for that tablet tomorrow. I promised I'd get Darius back, and if that's the way we have to do it.
I will let Nathaniel know. I think he would understand this. It's a one-way trip. If experimenting on if your experiment works, then you have to go.
Yeah. My path back, I don't have any... What does Nathaniel know about Lemonite?
Give me a nature or arcana.
7.
7. You know you walked through some to get to Dark World. You know less than the rest of them do.
Okay. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about it. Okay. I don't know how important the tunnel was to our pathway here. That part I don't know. And without a way to recreate that, I don't think I would attempt this without some recreation of the tunnel.
I would assume it'd have some kind of significant... Because Lemonite's the one that... No, Magicite's the one that stores it, but Lemonite is similar to Magicite, right?
Lemonite... how much did Endien or Thellum pay attention to Darius talking about Lemonite?
A decent amount. Because, yeah.
Then I would say you know that Lemonite, it was rare because it's a mineral found in Dark World, not Fracterra. So when veins of Lemonite are formed, it means there is a ley line or something influencing from the second world to the first world. And that's why a cave that is just a tunnel of Lemonite was kind of important in that sense.
Okay. I don't know if we necessarily need the same kind of cave. But from what Darius was telling us before, the Lemonite is spawned here. So that was like a conduit to be able to bring us here, essentially. I can't think of an equivalent that would be on Fracterra, like a mineral that's only found there that somehow found a way here that could be used as a conduit back. Unless the Lemonite would make us be able to, but that seems less likely because there's more of it here, so like would it just keep sending us here? I don't know.
I would assume we would need the opposite of it as well.
Yeah.
Again, came here traveling through a mineral that is native to the place we wanted to go. So we would want to do something similar.
Yeah, it would be like being in the trunk of a tree trying to get to a specific root instead of coming from a root to the trunk of the tree.
Yes. In that case, then, I mean, we'll see if we come across anything, but I would still like to examine Darius before we set out.
I agree to that, yes.
But I will join you.
Thank you.
I will follow as well.
So,
I guess me too.
okay.
Unless you have anything else you want to deal with the night,
I think
Debra's able to offer you some food. Not a lot. They don't have a lot of food.
Mm-hmm.
I cast Goodberry, so everyone has food. And I probably would have been doing that along the way as well. Like if I had a spell slot left over, which we didn't run into anything.
Yeah.
Pass out.
And I have rations too that I've been ticking off. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and we have.
If he's giving out good berries, you can get those rations back.
Yeah.
Because those.
I think I only remember to do it once.
They're basically sensu beans in like a weak way.
Yeah.
Where they like just fill you up.
Yeah, they fill you up, but it's not like, ooh, this tastes good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't like
enough nourishment to survive.
Yeah. If nothing else, the night can go by. Debra, obviously, her entire mood is a lot. This is such a huge, after 10 years, a huge drop on her. So she doesn't have a full understanding of like how to feel about everything yet. She talks like one of her best friends in the village is Jonah, since they've known each other her entire time here, even though he's like 5 years older than her, but he like is like nice and will help her out with stuff. She says like everyone here is nice. Once you get to know them, it's like everyone is wary about outsiders because everything outside is dangerous, so they never know for sure. But the night can go on. You wake up, it's still pitch black. What?
Not really.
I also want to just say something for character-wise for Endien as she goes into her trance.
Yeah.
Sitting there, invisible, like she puts her hand to her face, the bark side of her face, just feels it. Feels where the bark is starting to extend up on her forehead, almost into like not like a wing, but like where you'd wear a mask and it'd be above your head. It's like starting to grow above there. And as she goes into her trance, it's filled with thoughts of how this darkness has been involved in her life, and the adaptation she's had to go through with it, and how it's helped her move through life, even if it might have been in a negative way. But the words of her mother come to her of, "You are just coming into your fall self, the death of fall." And that rings through her mind as she trances.
Thellum?
I'm gonna go, while the others are gonna try to sleep, I'm gonna go try to talk to Barbara. No, sorry, not Barbara, Debra.
Okay.
Did we notice him leave because we're transing?
I
We
mean,
have, I don't think Endien does because she's in her mind.
it's in the same building. It's not like a weird thing. So
Yeah.
it's not like he left the building entirely. So it's probably not. It's probably negligible. Because like obviously you could still hear things, but like it's negligible. Yeah. Go ahead and talk to Debra if you'd like. Oh yeah.
I would just like as part of that, Endien may or may not realize it. Nathaniel would not be trancing when Endien is. So like a subtle watch still of like Endien's in her moment of like doing things. I'm gonna wait. I still don't trust things. Not setting up like official watches, but
right.
Great. She's trancing. I'm going to wait.
It's just that it's the perfect time to interlock toes.
Disgusting.
God, Thellum loves interlocking toes with everybody.
I want to go talk to Debra.
Yeah. All right, Thellum. Yeah. Debra's tired, but she's receptive to conversation. If you're trying to talk to her,
if she's tired.
Well, yeah, because she actually has to sleep.
Yeah. Okay.
She's busy all day long.
Well, in that case, I'm just gonna use her anyway as an excuse to get away from the other two.
Yeah,
Okay.
I assumed.
Yeah. Go ahead.
See her falling asleep, like nod my head towards her, but I'm gonna go to Mother.
Okay. All right.
That milk.
You go to Milk Mommy.
Disgusting.
No, you go to Mother. She's awake. She's there. She's receptive. You open the door, or you knock. She goes.
Oh, I don't knock.
Oh, you don't knock. You just walk in. Okay, good. Yeah. You just walk in and
See how she can notice a spider as my friend on the
an
wall.
invisible spider, or
Eyes
mostly invisible. I guess you're past with a trace, so you're like very blurry or some shit. Specky.
Walk in, try and find her.
She's in the same rocking chair.
So you're sitting down. You don't sleep?
A mother must be able to watch over her children.
Is there no father?
No.
So what do you want to talk about?
Do you want to be free?
You're gonna need to be a little specific. I want to be free of a lot of things.
Yes, you seem to be under the thumb of someone. And I'm wondering if you'd like to be free.
What gave you that feeling?
I can feel the anxiety and the stress. I can feel all of these feelings that come from people. And I can feel it very strongly from your friend.
Which one?
Well, the one that's with you.
Gonna need to be a little more specific again.
Oh, Thellum. The friend in your ring. I'm wondering if you'd like to be free of him.
Now I'm wondering. I will talk just to see if she understands. I'm gonna look at her face. I'm gonna talk in primordial. Like I'll just be like, "You mean this ring?" In primordial. See if she understands.
I'm sorry, Thellum. I don't know that language.
Can I insight check her on that?
Yes.
You ain't lying to me. That's a fucking nat 20, you little bitch.
She does not understand it.
Okay, good. In that case, I'm gonna talk openly right in front of her.
Yeah.
To Pazuzu, and be like, "Do you know what her games are?"
And you get nothing back.
What is her tricks?
I'm sorry, Thellum. I've told you I don't understand that.
Sorry. I just tend to switch between those two languages from now and then without realizing.
I'm sure obviously everyone wants to be able to fit into what's more comfortable. And I guess I'd like to know if you'd like to be more comfortable and to free yourself of...
I've grown comfy to my seat. What makes you comfortable?
Knowing that my family is safe.
Right where you want.
Right where they want to be. Oh, Thellum, I understand. I'm a stranger in a strange land, and it's hard to understand the sincerity that some of us might provide. But honestly, all I want is for everyone to feel safe. Do you feel safe with your friend?
I do.
Is that a lie?
Not really.
Okay.
He feels safe, but also
Yeah.
like in danger at the same time. So it's
Yeah.
not a lie. I mean, he did bring him back from dead, so.
Yeah. I know, there's so many beings of Dark World that it's customary and normal for all of us, maybe not for you, but a lot of us ask of something to give something. It kind of shapes a lot of our existences, and I can understand why it must feel like you give so much, and it feels like the things you get in return don't equal the same. But if you'd like to be free, all I would ask is for the ring. And I could make sure that you're safe. You wouldn't have to worry about him.
How would she know it's a him? I'm all good. Thank you for the offer, though.
Of course. I just want to make sure you're comfortable and safe while you're here.
God. This is where I wish I was a spellcaster. A better spellcaster.
Okay.
Fucking warlock.
God, I wish I was a spellcaster.
Yeah, level 1 warlock.
Yeah.
God. I just want to get in your head. What you're...
Well, I'm sorry to have troubled you then. That's all I wanted to ask, and I know with your friends around and the pressure it can feel, I didn't want you to feel uncomfortable when I asked.
What's a tablet?
It's a source of magic for me that I can use to do, I guess, a few different things.
But
primarily it can help me transport you all back.
Yeah. But are you just saying this tablet is a battery? Or is it more?
Not a battery. Most magic comes from within. So I suppose I'm more like the battery. And I can charge its uses to send people back places. I used to have it. It's just 600 years ago I dropped it and I haven't had it since. And I don't have the time to go for it. I have a village to take care of.
I insight that's 16.
What are you inciting?
That she lost it.
Yeah, she lost it. She, yeah. You don't think that that's any kind of like, there's no innuendo there. There's no like, she's not trying to like play up one aspect while forgetting another. She dropped it. She lost it. She's not like twisting words to make it sound better than it is.
So you're out of the village.
Oh, that was 600 years ago. The village wasn't formed yet.
How come you never leave?
I have to protect my family. When you have a family, it's just they rely on you to survive, and you need to be able.
Me out.
What?
Someone pull me out before I do something drastic.
There's no one there.
You can't. You went alone.
You did this to
remember?
yourself.
Yeah, maybe don't go off by yourself. Maybe why Nathaniel wanted to be with you.
I'm accepting the darkness in my life right now, so you're on your own, buddy.
Oh my god.
You don't always have to make every bad decision immediately. You can wait.
That's Thellum's strong point. Mother.
It's a very powerful item. It's very tuned to this world. I feel bad leaving it out there in case someone wanders and takes it and tries to use it, because using it might destroy them if they're not strong enough.
No, I'm tempted to use it by myself. Do you know of Valkyr?
Oh yes, of course. He's the lord to the east? East of Compass?
So, I guess you could say your guys' positions are similar.
I guess we both rule over our own domains. We keep people happy and living.
So how come he can leave, but you can't?
His citizens are much more survivable. Mine are just the gloom. The poor gloom can't survive very well without help.
Do you know why they're sick?
It's because they're gloom. The
What is
gloom
that?
aren't well suited for Dark World. But Volcule's residents are... well, they're white and ghasts and... ghouls. They're all entities strong enough to survive here. And I suppose he keeps the gloom alive by letting them be pets. Which is just brutish if you ask me. But it helps keep his other residents surviving if they have them. It's unfortunate, but I mean... there's not much I could do about that. Other than keep my own surviving.
Were you always here in the Dark World?
Yes. I'm a resident. You... it's interesting. You're half... Dao?
I'm not gonna say that.
You seem to have been... your lineage implies you're human, but also Dao.
What?
Have you always been in Fracterra?
As far as I know, what's a Dao?
It's a form of genie kind. One that is of the earth. They don't live around here, per se, but they are of Dark World. And you seem so prominently so. Is that why you feel so comfortable with your friend?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Tell me. Could you sense something in me? A sort of block.
What do you mean by a block?
I can't remember.
Oh, that's your friend. I can free you, if you'd like. All I ask is that you give me the ring.
What will you do after?
I would continue to lead my village.
Yeah, no. Well, sorry for the intrusion.
Oh, it's no problem at all. Anyone who comes to me looking for comfort, I'm happy to help.
Starts walking away. Good
Okay.
night.
They're walking away. You head back for the night. I don't know if Nathaniel or Endien catches you walking in to this.
I'm not being stealthy about it.
Yeah.
Nathaniel probably would. Endien's in her own shit right now.
I wouldn't say anything of it. I think Nathaniel assumes where he went, and
Yeah.
that was his decision. So
As I am... the night's not over yet, I'm so sorry. As I
Yeah.
am sitting down, I will say in my mind, catch this, and go into the ring.
You can't.
Got him!
You try and it doesn't work.
Pozissi is pissed, dude.
You feel as though you could still draw power from him, like your Elder's Blast, but you don't feel like you're able to go in or communicate with this.
I'll whisper under my breath, so I don't bother the other two.
Other three.
Other three.
Three.
I keep
Other
forgetting
four.
he's there.
4 because Debra's there too.
Oh, shit. I go outside for this.
I gotta make a call.
Oh, guys, work call. Are you there?
And you never get a response.
You there, God?
I will try do an Arcana.
Go ahead, give me an Arcana.
To see if I possibly know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, he's having a temper tantrum, dude. That one.
No, it's not 20, but it's.
I knew it was one of the two.
That's a -2, 18. It feels like something's blocking you.
Oh, hurt.
Like you feel like there's something trying to sever your tie to Pazuzu.
It's this mist. It's
There's
a
no
colorless mist. What I've dark
There's
vision.
nothing here. The mist is Volkiel's. There's nothing here.
Who is it? It's her. It's her black milk.
You haven't had any.
What?
You know that what you know is that something seems to be blocking your connection. It doesn't feel like you're not getting a response. It feels like you're being blocked.
It's like that feeling where the internet goes down and you're trying to ask Google something.
Yes, Google, wipe my internet down.
Oh, I want to talk to BakaZombie. Let me in. Let me in.
Let me in.
Well, with that, I will go back inside. Or if I was still inside, I would just
Yeah.
fall asleep.
All right, so you guys continue through your night here in Mother's Village, in the back of the storehouse, having finally found Debra and Darius, deciding on what exactly you're going to do, and if it is find this tablet, you're trying to get rested enough to make that journey. And with that, we'll end this episode. Woo! If you would like to talk to me on the internet, you can do so by hitting me up at Bumblescum, that's with a K. If you would like to ask about how sweet all this roleplay and lore is, you can hit up the IDL at IDL_RPGS, or you can just gush about it with your fellow bookheads at #bookworms. That's worms, WYRMS, like the dragon, bookworms, like a dragon that's also maybe also a book. I don't know. If you'd like to hit up Adam about the state of his former character, you can always hit him up at Little Growth. If you would like to talk about the pros and cons of giving in to grief, you can always hit up BakaZombie at ZombieBaka. And unfortunately, there's like a strange block happening. It's like it's this weird block. You're not able to connect with Kyle at all. It's weird. You don't know exactly why or what, but you know, bad luck. Goodbye.